Hey guys, it's me, Vinny. Yeah, how's it going? The dyslexic artist couldn't be here today, so I took his place. All right, okay, all right. Just gonna have a smoke here. Oh yeah, that's good. Sorry, guys. Anyways, it is me, Mr. Paul Kennedy, dyslexic artist. Anyways, video today. Well, I said a little while back that I wasn't going to be doing any more clay work, and that's not true. Because it just keeps pulling me back and I just can't control myself. So I decided to do another sculpture. So sit back and watch as I produce a dragon. A dragon. Woohoo! What do you think, Vinny? I think it's great. It's a great idea. Oh yeah, it's lovely. I love it. Sorry guys, I really apologize. Hey, sorry, that doofus there, he decided not to tell you that you should hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification all day long. Dong, 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 dong. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, so today I will be sculpting a dragon. Now, what I did was I already made an armature for myself with wire, and then I also used masking tape. I like masking tape when I'm working with the wire and that. I find it easy to work with. And then one of the things, the other reason I did that is because today, instead of putting like original Sculpey underneath and then putting Super Sculpey on top, I'm going to try something a little bit different. The only reason I'm doing that, I mean, the other way is perfectly fine, but the only reason I'm doing that is because I just think it'd be a little more cost effective in the long run. The other thing too is that I was thinking about down the road, if I wanted to work onto some bigger pieces, that I might want to be able to do it that way. So it makes a really good strong armature, and then put the Sculpey on top and see what happens. Alright, so I have my armature, as I was saying, and then what I said was I'm going to do something a little different. So what I'm going to do is that this is actually Paper Mache clay, and it's the stuff that's made with the toilet paper. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to apply it right to the actual armature. Then what I can do is I can literally form it out to what I want, and then when I've got what I want, just have to let it dry. Then I will add my legs to it and that, and then I will then start to proceed maybe to add a polymer clay to it. So as you can see, it didn't take me very long to put that on. And the thing is that you can do is you can let it sit for a little bit. It does get a little bit of a stickiness to it, but the thing is that I now still have a big half bucket worth of clay left that I can actually freeze for future projects. And that's why I'm suggesting this idea, only because of the fact that you can bulk it out, right? You can sand that down after, smooth it all to whatever you want, and then start adding other clays to it, right? So, and again, the armature is going to be nice and strong, very, very strong. And like I said, once I do is I just let it settle, and once it's settled, because like at this point here, it's still got that little bit of stickiness to it. But once it starts to dry up, it doesn't take very much. You smooth your fingers out, you can smooth the whole thing right out, and it looks pretty sharp. You can actually basically sculpt on your own with just the paper mache. But this is something that I had done with the mermaid, and I didn't actually show that, and I thought to myself, geez, that's really super cool, especially if you're doing a lot of this kind of work. You'd have something that you can just basically use up really quickly and fast. Bang, 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 and it's done, right? And a lot less expensive than putting on the polymer clay as a base, right? Use it for doing all the fine work. That's what that stuff's really great for, right? As far as I'm concerned, anyways. There we are. Oh, and by the way, Sue will be doing the recipe for you, so you'll be able to see all of that, and she'll go through a step-by-step for you, okay? Cool.
Give you the instructions while his clay is drying. So take toilet paper, rip off into sheets, and soak in a large bowl of water. Then you're going to squish it into 1 1/4 cups measuring cup, squish out all the water to get the measurement, then rip it into small pieces, put it back into the water for a few minutes, and then strain out and put into a large bowl. Add 1/2 cup of flour, 1 cup of drywall joint compound, and 3/4 cup PVA white or clear glue. You can add a little bit more flour if you want a thicker clay that's going to hold detail more. Then you're going to take your handheld mixer, beat it on high for several minutes until it's the consistency that you can take a knife and spread the clay onto your hand like frosting, or squish it into a ball and it's going to hold its shape. I'll also add written instructions in the description at the end of the video.
Alright, so guys, I have basically let half an hour go by, and I've already started to pat it down, so it's already starting to smooth out, as you can see, right? Now if you wanted to, you could actually let that go completely hard, and then sand it all down, and then build on top of that. So again, it's just a great way to do an armature that's strong. The other thing too, as I said, it's less expensive. Now, mind you, had this been March, it might have been much more expensive to use the toilet paper stuff, but now that things have settled down, it's a lot better, price-wise. And again, like I say, I've got a half a bucket left. So, I'm gonna keep working on this. So I've roughed everything out. I'm basically assembling a little bit of the legs and the arms, and working on the head and figuring out where the eyes would be. But everything is kind of coming together nicely, and it gives you an idea of where it's at. And still, I have the scaling to do, and all, more facial fix-ups and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's a nice rough sketch that really lets you know where you're going with the clay. You can actually figure it out. Alright guys, so I have actually got my armature completely done, and it has been now dried. Now, there's two ways of drying it. One is to just simply let it dry naturally, which might be a day or two sometimes, or be like me, Mr. Impatient, and I threw it in the oven, I think about 150 degrees for a couple hours, and just kind of let it bake slowly. It's now nice and hard, right? Those little holes are areas where I actually poked it so that you can release the moisture that was in it. If it's a little bit thick, it takes a little bit longer. But where the tail was and the head was, really easy. Didn't go too high a heat because you don't want to scorch it. So you might be asking yourself, what is this all about? This is the wings. So right now it's upside down. It'll actually be like that, right? So I used 3 pieces of wire, and then I taped it together, and then I'm going to take some small wire, work that, and I'll show you that very next thing. Okay, so some thinner wire just to basically make that nice and tight. I think what I'm going to do is actually use masking tape, and that'll shape my wings, and then I'll cut that in half. So now you can see the wings. I've shaped them out. I've used masking tape and the wire, whoops, and dropped it also. But anyways, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to sever this in half, and then I will be putting that into the dragon after I've done some detail stuff and that, and then I'll make sure that there's like a joint and a joint area so that both can go in on either side. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, there is my dragon, and there it is with dragon wings. So now it's just a matter of adding clay, then also a little bit of texture to make it look really super cool, and I think there we are. And then what I'll probably do is wind up baking those first, and then applying them after the fact. So now you get a look as to what the wings are going to look like. Now, basically after I put the clay on, I am now going to add detail, make them look nice and cool, and then I'm going to throw them in the oven, bake them up, and put them aside for later. Now its arms are going on. Well, they're not going on, but they're going to get baked. So they've been detailed, right? As you can see, added some claw, added some scale, gave it some nice texture. So there we are. Gotta go into the oven. And I almost forgot the horns. They're going to be going in the oven too. Alright guys, so it is now time to take this little girl down, or guy, and take it down to cook it. So I have actually baked the dragon, so now it's time to assemble. Now, here's what gets tricky. I have never used Bake and Bond, so I'm going to see how that works. I may have to do one piece at a time. I'm not exactly sure yet. First things first, I think it would be pretty easy maybe to put the horns on. Grab a little Bake and Bond, slap it on right here. I'm liking that already. Okay, so lessons learned. Maybe grab a little bit more clay and give myself a little something else to hook on to there. So what I did there was, I'm going to show you, like I just roughed that up a little bit, and then I'm going to push on to it. That looks pretty good. Yeah. And then the next horn will need to go on, and Bake and Bond it. Yes. All right, I think I like that. I like the way the horns are. They look good. So far, so good. So let's get the rest of it together. So again, more Bake and Bond. Right, gonna slap that on for the leg, and that's gonna go on right there. Boom. Right. Looking good, looking good. All right, now I have to get the other side going too. Same thing, because a lot of this is all to do with balance, because I've got the wings all designed, well, hopefully works that they'll balance perfectly onto the back legs and that. So as I say, it's looking good. I'm having fun. Okay, it's all right. Things happen. I will be adding more clay just to make sure everything stays in place. Right now, it's just a matter of a little bit of balance in that. So now, I've got the other arm to... Okay. Hold on. Now, something I didn't mention and I've been using is actually rubbing alcohol. Basically what happens is when I'm getting into an area where I want to smooth out but I want it to attach to where I've already baked, I use the rubbing alcohol, and I find that it just seems to let it kind of all come together, right? It makes it nicer, and then I'll come back onto it to add back into detail where I need to. But basically right now I'm just doing it so that I'm attaching the legs to the spots that they need to be. The wings will go in last. I think I'm going to bake everything and then do the wings last. Well guys, hopefully you've seen what I've been doing there. I tried something a little bit different. I wanted to use a different way of making an armature with other types of clay, which was with the Paper Mache clay, right? And I think it worked out. It definitely got something there going. So, I didn't know what the heck I was. Alright guys, let's try that one more time. What I did was I used the Paper Mache as an armature. Something a little bit different, right? And it seemed to work out okay. I didn't mind it. But I knew that it was going to be a 2-day video situation. I knew I wasn't going to get finished. So if you want to see the end of the dragon, I will be putting on the wings on the next video, and then I'll be painting it up and finishing it up on the next video. So guys, always remember that every day is a gift. So right now you're in the present.